amazing that we have 4 of you all together in one room. So just wanted to understand, how did CoffeeBeans first begin? What was the thought process behind it?
I guess in the initial stages when we were all working with our respective companies, we did see a pretty big gap in the market. We also knew that with the kind of tech experience that we have of building products, selling them, we knew that us coming together would effectively mean that we can actually bridge that gap and create a significant amount of value. We were coming together, so Madhu introduced me to another person, then Mitesh joined us, and then Naveen joined us, and then we were already kind of working on a product. So when we actually started thinking about, okay, can we actually formalize this? Can we actually build this into a product? We thought, okay, let's make it. Let's start CoffeeBeans.
And how did the name story?
CoffeeBeans. But in short, I think it mostly evolved. One thing is, all of us are coffee lovers. We truly enjoy a good cup of coffee. And a lot of our conversations were fueled by coffee. And so just that we figured it made sense to make that a big part of it. We did go through other names, like I think we did look into some vegetable names and fruit names, but somehow we always kept ending up with the word coffee, and we settled on the word CoffeeBeans. One interesting aspect of it is just the unique nature of the name helps us break ice in a lot of social and professional settings, right? And spark some good conversations with our employees, potential employees, and also potential partners and clients.
So how did the team begin?
Oh yeah, it actually did. So we were 4 of us. We decided, okay, we'll start, and a lot of conversations went behind it. Everybody was on different paths, and then we decided, okay, let's start. We were already building a product at that point of time, and that's when we had a small team with us, but we didn't have any projects. And it was very interesting that a couple of guys actually trusted on us and they decided to join. We got a very small project of building a small mobile app. We delivered it and we got our first paycheck of like 20,000, 30,000 rupees, and we were so proud of it, oh my God. So yeah, so that's how we started. And there's very interesting story. The first team member, she was a girl who joined us. After our interview process and all, when we were giving her the offer letter and all, she was like, I am a little skeptical now because you guys don't have any girl in the team. And we were like, yeah, I mean, this kind of questions we didn't expect to come, right? And and then after that, all sorts of questions we have got, and that's been a fascinating journey. Ultimately, Prajna joined us, and it was also inspired by the name of CoffeeBeans.
So what was it like to start from scratch?
Honest answer to this was, all of us didn't know that we'll get here, but we just had the belief that we're going to do something big. So it was driven more by our collective thought process, where we wanted to do something big. And we said, okay, we're going to start this journey. And individually, I think each one of us were actually quite scared. I mean, we didn't know what we were getting into, right? So we just knew that we could do things well, we could do good engineering. And that was amply displayed in our previous venture that we did in the product, where the product was like very, very good, and it was kind of, from a tech perspective, the product was really good. And that's what drove us, because we always and do carry the product DNA in us. And that's something that we said, okay, we're going to kind of make sure we leverage well for our customers. So what it took to get started, we really don't know, because we didn't have a choice. Because the product failed and we had to do something else, right? That was the truth. And we knew that we were doing a good job of engineering, and why not leverage that and add value to the end customers. So that's how we got started.
So what were the other challenges you faced while
Getting
starting
started?
the company? Yeah.
Okay, so as any other startup would, we had every kind of a challenge that we could kind of face, right? So we didn't have an office space, we didn't have people, we didn't have customers. We just had this one belief that we're going to kind of make it big.
I was saying that from finding a large, big project to fixing the flush in the toilet, I think we have done everything.
Yeah, one specific challenge that I remember, especially in the initial stages, was that of making other people believe in what we are believing, right? Because now it's a lot more easier for us to tell them we're 100 people strong, and you can come and join us. This is what we've done and everything else. But starting from scratch, so one of the first questions is how long you guys have been doing it, and how long is the company? It's very difficult to get that first 10 people in, and those 10 people are also, they have to be some of the best. So it was, I think for some of the people, we've had like 10-20 conversations to get them on board, right? Everything from taking them out for lunch, dinner, interviews, beer, we've done it all. So that was a very, very, very difficult thing. The challenge still exists, but not the way it used to be in the initial stage.
So what was it like to, then bring in and also continue running product and services in parallel?
So I think initially this is another big challenge that we faced, because our idea was always, to be something similar to a product factory, or, we started off with that. We said, we're going to focus on one product. It did have its own challenges and everything else. But when we saw that the engineering team was really good and we can actually help multiple companies build, products, we decided, okay, services also is something that we want to do. But we didn't want to let go of the products. So we had both products and services, and the obvious thing was, yeah, we can do it. But almost every single person that we spoke to said, no, this is a bad idea, this is a bad idea. And these were, industry veterans, our friends and everyone else.
I think people still say that.
Yeah, and even internally we had our concerns, but we also knew that we were focused towards what we wanted, and we knew why we wanted it in the first place. We knew that what product brings onto the table for the team and the customers is different to what we can do as services. And we knew that, for us to be a well-rounded company, well-rounded individuals, we need to have experience with both. So why don't we actually do it? So we actually took it up as a challenge. A lot of issues, from very different business models. So you have to really be in a position to say that, I'm going to invest money in something which is not going to give any returns for the next 2 years, while we are saying no to opportunities which will start paying up next month. It takes a lot of, I guess, determination and grit to do that. And we are quite different when it comes out to us as a thing, but we also, realize that that's something that would add as an advantage.
Getting to the specifics of it, right? How has it been with, working in the products team?
The product's journey is always exciting, right? I mean, you don't know what customer is going to like, because usually on the consulting side of things, we are getting the requirements from the customers. We help them build products which they want. They already have a picture in mind what they want to develop and deliver, right? In products, we are trying to figure out what will fit in the market, and that's something which has its own adrenaline rush of sorts, which always drives you with respect to what new features we can build in, which can add more value to our customers and bring that. So yeah, I mean, the product journey, especially for me, and that's how we started as well. We always wanted to build products, and that has always driven us, right?
And what about consulting? Experience so far in consulting?
Well, it's been actually quite interesting, and it's been quite it's a great journey. I'll tell you a couple of things that's kind of really worked for us. Since we come from this mindset that we're going to be learning all the time, each project that comes on our way is something that's seen as a challenge that will kind of actually make us better tomorrow, right? So it's all about continuous learning. It's all about adding value on a daily basis and kind of getting to a better version of yourself the next day. And when you look at it from that lens, it becomes very exciting, and it's no more a challenge. It's more like you just play it like a game. Personally, I believe once you have this mindset of taking the new technologies and experimenting and being at ease with that experimentation, it becomes easy for us.
Another interesting aspect of consulting is just by the very nature of it, it puts us in the helm of various companies, right? And keeping aside the engineering and everything we do, it also gives us an inside look at their culture and how they operate, and it gives us a lot of feedback. And we bring it back to how it really helps us, really fine-tune how we are running our company, how we are engaging our customers, our employees, more importantly.
How have you navigated through, your success and failures?
So navigating success was easy. We ended up celebrating at every stage and, making sure that the team realizes what we have done and everything else. Challenges, on the other hand, are very, it's very difficult. I think we've had a once in a century event right in the middle of our growth, right? When COVID happened, it hit us like nothing that we've ever planned for. Yeah,
one of the biggest blessings that we've had in this particular journey of last 5 years is we've been able to kind of manage and figure out what is the best that the client needs and deliver that. So that actually translates to not having a single project that's a failure, right? I mean, we haven't had a single project that's actually gone bad, and touch wood, it's been like really good for us, and every client is a referenceable client. Yeah. I don't think we've done this alone. It's everybody in this team who's kind of done it, and we'll continue to do it as we grow.
Yeah, that I think definitely is one of our biggest successes, the kind of team that we have created at all aspects, and it's not just delivery or support or anything else. And the number of times people have come back and told us about, wow, how did you guys manage to have this person or that person is really good. I mean, we've had people come back and say that I've tried to explain this to someone with 10 times the experience, and I've taken 2 times as long, and this person was able to get it like this. So that helps us in achieving those goals much faster. But without doubt, our ability to get this group of people together and somehow keep them together is definitely one of our biggest successes.
And that's what helped us through the pandemic, right? I mean, how challenging it was to work like completely so remote and so diverse. And I think that's just that people first, company first culture and building an awesome team, an awesome this thing. Yeah, we did really well in the pandemic culture.
From a point of, we wanted to survive the pandemic to actually, grow and have one of the best years.
Immense growth.
And really, lay that foundation for the next few years. During the pandemic has been nothing short of miracle, and it's mostly based on the fact that people just went out of their way to deliver. Every single person.
And that's the testament to what the team we built, right?
Actually, during the pandemic time, not even a single escalation from any company.
Yeah.
So what next? What plans for the next 5 years?
So, like I said, I think the pandemic in the last 5 years has given us the ability to actually create a fantastic foundation, and we've all done it in one place, right, from Bangalore. So one of the first, and US, right? So we had presence in US, and we were looking at these two locations. But one of the first things that we're looking at is, expanding that reach, because that gives us the ability to actually expand both from a client perspective as well as talents. This would allow us to grow, again, not just from a numbers perspective, numbers both from a people and revenue perspective, but also the kind of value and impact that we can create.
I think we are at a really interesting point, right? In our thing. Almost as important an invention of internet was. I think blockchain and metaverse and crypto world is going to be that, and just getting ready for that world, right? And building a world which is more where the power is less decentralized, and where essentially building a more decentralized world where you're not relying on very central entities, but also building communities that really thrive is very important, and that's the roadmap we're all working on.
Absolutely. What does 5 year mean to you? And that's exactly what you're supposed to say in the next 30 seconds.
I think it means growth.
What does growth mean to you?
Growth means being at the forefront of interesting challenges, right? And then handling them head on.
So for me, the last 5 years was when we were born and we started learning how to walk and all. And in COVID times, it was like whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And the next 5 years, it is about now I learned to walk, now I have to start running and have sprints.
Sagar?
Yeah. So we've been, working out. We've been, taking part in small events here and there, and now we're ready to go to war. Yeah. And I see the next 5 years being, that place where we are actually going to create that kind of impact across the industry. And also, I think we are at the best possible position where we can be in terms of both the size as well as our capabilities and the credibility that we have built so far.
And the people.
Truly, I think the most important aspect that we all keep talking about almost on a daily basis is the kind of team that we've been able to build. 5 years to me is like adding maybe 10 times more this quality kind of people who will actually kind of let the culture really become a world-class engineering excellence, great people first kind of a company, and that's what we're going to do.
To the next 5 years and more. Thank you guys for your time.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.